Hey folks, Rob from Chicken Ranch Homestead. Just had a major rainfall event, flash flooding here in the pasture. We have a small drainage ditch going down that line. They're blowing up a tube. They're going to try to go tubing down it. But this goes right through my pasture and out the back. It's flowing pretty good. The ditch is probably 24 to 36 inches deep. I'm standing in a couple inches deep of water. I'm going to take a look back farther and get back with you. Okay folks, this is my back forest. Got a little path here. Take a look back here and see what happens. It's where all the water kind of comes through. There's multiple beds back here, creek beds. Walking through about an inch of water. See what happens. See if we can find anything neat. I've never been back here during a rain event. We are new to the property, so there's one way to learn the property. Look at the size of those mushrooms. Look at the size of that mushroom. That thing's a foot round. Okay, I'm starting to see some of the overflow of the water. I just saw a mink, and he's got to go. Man, is it flowing. I mean, it's flowing good. Now, that creek bed is probably 2 feet down. I'm not going to cross it just for the safety's sake. I'm just going to walk around here, see what else I can find. Probably walking through a bunch of poison ivy is what's going to happen. Of course, they always threw all their junk away on all these old farms just in the back. That's what we have a lot of. A lot of junk just thrown back here. It's a nice forest. There's some black walnuts. I'm actually off my property line by now, or darn close. Let's see here. Nice and green, that's for sure. Some more mushrooms. Here's the creek running through. Okay, so that's a little bridge right over here. And that bridge has water flowing over it. So yeah, usually that's not even close. It all runs into the back. Alright, I'm not sure if we're going to get flash flooding more, but I'm going to get to a higher ground so I don't get in trouble. Okay folks, I'm back. Torrential rainstorms all night. This stream runs along our property line, separates another field, of course goes back in the pasture. The pasture back there, right about there, was completely flooded in about 3 inches of water. And the way back in the woods, it sounded like rapids. We had 2 torrential downpours happen last night, to the point to where the pigs had a river flowing through their pen. The 3 nanny goats that we just picked up, they were above ground, but there was a small river running through the carport where they stay. Everyone else kind of like hunkered down and whatever, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. You can see that little bridge there. What's up, Brad? This kind of goes between the 2 fields. It's just a 2x10, 2x12. That was underwater last night twice. And then when it calmed down, it was just at water height. So the water's gone down about 8 inches, 6-8 inches. But this has water in it most of the time, but not a lot. Usually can't see it. It's usually overgrown with weeds. The water was so powerful that, yeah, it just pushed all the weeds down. I mean, it did a number on this little seasonal creek, so to say. Yeah, I'm just hoping that none of my chickens got into it, because they would have been washed away. But yeah, that flows off of the fields over here. That's a spelts field, I believe. And that's a corn. That's from the dairy farmers across the way from us. They're about half a mile. They're kind of like our neighbors. But then her other neighbor up there, he's a little bit higher. And so his ditch feeds into our ditch, which goes in the back. But let's see here. We'll go across the street. But yeah, there was water coming all down there. And here's where the water feeds off the field tile. I can hear it from all ditches, but you can't. Maybe I can zoom in. That's water standing in their cornfield, and it's literally coming down into this ditch that feeds into us. Last night it was a waterfall. So after making a video, what do? Well, I didn't ever predict this amount of water. I should know the fields are higher than us, and it should feed down, of course, into that stream. So that's a bad thought on my part, not to think about what's going to happen in a torrential rain. I mean, we live about 45 miles from Lake Erie, so of course we'll get lake effect and other kind of storms coming off that lake. But anybody that watches videos of Ohio Wood Burner, Hometown Anchors, Outdoors with the Morgans, they all live within an hour of us. Like, we're kind of like sitting on the outside or the center of the circle, and they fit within that circle. I mean, the Morgans are probably 50 minutes from us. Hometown's probably 20, 25, and Ohio Wood Burner's probably, I'd say probably 35 to 40. I don't know where they all live. It's not my business, it's not my thing, but I know where they are located by their town wise. But they've all been producing videos too about how much water they've been getting and this and that. And it's been one heck of an event. Most of the country is in drought, and here we are just swimming in pools of water. I have standing water in all my pastures. I'm not expecting to feed hay right now, but I'm gonna have to. Just a few acres up in New York, which is like an hour and 40 minutes from us. He's talking about how he can't have his cows out in his pasture because they'll destroy it, and he has no grass right now. So he's feeding hay in his sacrificial lot, which has become a mud pit. And he did a video where everything is just literally a mud pit for him. So this kind of area, you know, northeast Ohio through Pennsylvania up into New York, we're getting pounded. We're getting too much rain. Well, unfortunately, other places are not getting rain at all. Or if they get rain, they're getting hail and it's destroying their crops. I mean, this amount of rain, it probably destroyed some around here. I know there was a lot of water sitting in fields. There's a lot of spelts. It's like a wheat that's for dairy cows. They digest it a lot easier. And there was a lot of water in that. And I saw a video. Guy came by to see me last night, and down the way we have a railroad, we have a viaduct and train tracks on the ground, and there's streams, and the one creek bed, which clearly we feed into, it'll work its way around. It was overflowing, and there was a waterfall coming down the train viaduct, which is kind of a scary thing when they get that much rain on train tracks, because if you know anything about trains and their bed, if it starts to wash out, they derail. So I'm sure it's all hands on deck around here. We lost power at about 2:30. It just came on here about 8 o'clock. So this is quite a rain event. But I'll keep you up to date what happens, how our pasture is doing. It's looking pretty good right now. Let's see if I can pull this up. It's really green because we got lots of rain. And the side that's going to hay is looking pretty long and nice. It was actually kind of pretty while the wind was blowing yesterday, but luckily it didn't get destroyed. But yeah, we're all green right now. But what you can't see is about, maybe I can't. What you can't see is, yeah, standing water. That's just a low spot from the old barn that was here many years before me. But yeah, there's inches of water on the pasture right now. All right, folks, stay safe. Get rain if you need it. Don't get rain if you don't need it. And I'll talk to you again on the next video. Thank you.